Hey y'all, so let's cover this is exam one. Now, I don't want you watching this without having your exam in front of you. I'll be sending everyone exams back to them. So I want you to sit down with your exam, watch my video, go through and look at your exam, watch what I do, and look at the differences. This is when I want you to make sure that you understand the mistakes that you made and then and change them. And if you don't know how, talk to me. If you don't understand where the mistake was made, let me know. Let's meet up and talk about it. Remember, you are not alone in this. Okay. So let's start with the first one. 9 subtracted from 2 times the number is negative 19. Now, math is just a language, and you have to know the language in order to do it, just like with English. So 9 subtracted from, that right there tells me because of the word from, you're subtracting 9 from something. That means there has to be something for you to subtract 9 from. Okay. So now we need to figure out what that is because after the word from is when they tell you what that is in that box. From 2 times a number. Well, that is 2 times, and you can pick any variable. I'm just going to choose X because that's usually what students like. And then the word is always means equals. And the word that is negative 19. So cleaning this up, it's 2 times X minus 9 is equal to negative 19. Or you could have written 2X minus 9 as well. I would have accepted either one. Okay. All right, the next one, 10 plus 5 times a number. It's written just exactly as it sounds. Number one. Number two. So 10 plus 5 times a number. Again, you can use any variable. You could also use 5x instead of 5 times x. You could use parentheses. I don't care as long as you're representing it properly. Okay. The next one is a piece of lumber is being used to build an art caddy. The lumber is 42 inches long and it needs to be cut into 2 pieces of different length. So we've got a piece of lumber and the lumber is 42 inches long. So from here to here, the entire thing is 42 inches. And it says it needs to be cut into 2 pieces of different lengths. We'll cut it right there. The longer piece is 12 inches longer than the shorter piece. So 12 inches longer than, and so they don't tell us what the shorter piece is. So we're going to call the shorter piece X. So 12 longer than X. And it says find the length of the 2 pieces. So to do that, you just add the X plus the X plus 12 and make that equal to what the total length is, which is 42. Okay. So now we can just drop the parentheses. X plus X is 2X plus 12 is 42. Solving for X, we're going to subtract 12 from both sides of the equal sign. This is gone. We're left with 2X is equal to 30. 2 is attached to X by multiplication. So the opposite of multiplication is division. We're going to divide both sides by 2. And X is equal to 15. So that is the shorter side. So the shorter is 15 inches. Make sure you use your unit. And the longer is 15 plus 12, which is 27 inches. Okay. That is number 3. Let's go to number 4. Order of operations. So let me write this down real quick. I don't need to do it like that. So 7 parentheses negative 3 squared plus 15 divided by negative 3. All right, order of operations is parentheses first. We don't have anything to do inside the parentheses, but we do have exponents, which is our next thing. We've got the negative 3 squared. So this becomes 7 times whatever negative 3 squared is. I'm going to bring everything else down. Negative 3 squared is 9. If you got negative 9, that's because you didn't use the parentheses. This is the same thing as -3 times -3, and a negative times a negative is a positive. All right. 7 times 9 plus 15 divided by -3. So now we have multiplication, addition, and division. Who comes next? Well, multiplication and division, but it's whoever shows up first, left to right. And left to right, we've got 7 times 9, which is 63. Now we have addition and division. Division comes before addition. So I'm just going to bring down the 63. 15, positive 15 divided by -3 is -5. And the last thing is 63 minus 5, which is 58. All right, number 4. That was number 4. Number 5. All right, absolute value of 4 minus 6 cubed plus 18 divided by 9. Again, parentheses, absolute value, curly brackets, that's all first. So what happens inside of here needs to be done before anything else. 4 minus 6 is -2. Bringing everything else down. I'm doing one step at a time. The next thing is I'm taking the absolute value of the -2, and that is 2. Because anything, absolute value of any number is positive. I'm keeping the cube there. All right, now we've got an exponent, addition, and division. We need to do the exponent before anything else. 2 cubed is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. Now we have addition and division. We have to do division before addition. 18 divided by 9 is 2. Sorry, I'm thinking ahead of myself. And then 8 plus 2 is 10. All right, that was 5. Again, as I'm going through this, make corrections on your paper and write any questions that you still have for me. Number 6 is 5/6 plus 1/2 times 3/4 minus 1/5. We need common denominators here, and our common denominator is 6 between these two. So this one would stay the same. And this one, to turn 2 into a 6, I've got to multiply it times 3. What do I do to the bottom? I have to do to the top. 1 times 3 is 3. I'm going to come over here and find the common denominator for this one as well, which is 20. Well, 4 times 5 is 20. 3 times 5 is 15. So 15 over 20 minus, in order to turn this 5 into 20, is 5 times 4 is 20. 1 times 4 is 4. Let's add these two. When the bases are the same, you keep them and you add the numerator. 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 15 minus 4 is 11. Yes. Over 20. Now you can reduce now, or you can reduce afterwards. It's your call. I'm going to go ahead and reduce now. I like to work with smaller numbers. 8 and 6 will both be reduced by 2. So that would turn divide by 2 would be 4/3 times 11/20. The 4 and the 20 will reduce as well. 4 goes in 25 times. 4 goes into 4 once. So this is 1/3 times 11/5. Multiplying straight across, 1 times 11 is 11. 3 times 5 is 15. Had you gone ahead up here and multiplied and got 88 over 120, you could then just reduce it. Okay, you didn't have to do the multiple steps like I did. It's totally your call. So sorry. Where is my phone? Hold on, let me pause, y'all. Yeah, I know. Who doesn't love Coco Taylor? Okay, so once you get to 88 over 120, you can just reduce it from there. Let's go to the next one. Number 7. 1 plus 4 squared minus -120 over . All right. Always do what's inside the parentheses first. This one's nothing to do, but this one there is. 1 plus 4 is 5. Just bringing everything else down. I'm doing one step at a time. All right, now we've got an exponent. And that's the only place we have an exponent. So 5 squared is 25. 5 times 5. All right, now we've got 25 minus negative 120. We need to do what's on the top, complete what's on the top, complete what's on the bottom, and then we divide. So 25 minus negative 120. These are multiplied. This is like a -1 times negative 120. This will make this a negative times a negative a positive. So 25 plus 120 over -8 minus a -9. So this is the same thing that's happening up here. And so is this. So I'm going to bring down the -8. This becomes a negative times a negative, which is a +9. Negative times a negative, which is a +4. Now we just combine them. 25 plus 120 is 145 over -8 plus 9 is 1. Bring down the +4. And then 145 divided by 5 is 29. Now let's go to 8. So 3 times 2x plus 2 minus 5 times 3x minus 2. So for these, you need to be able to distribute, and then combine like terms. 3 times 2, so this is going to be 3 times 2x. Oh, sorry. Plus 3 times, I'm not smoking crack. 3 times 2, and this is -5 times 3x minus 5 times -2. That's what I'm doing here to distribute. So 6x plus 6 minus 15x, negative times negative is plus 10. Now we combine like terms. The 6x minus 15x is -9x, and 6 plus 10 is 16. Number 9, -3x minus 5 plus 2y. Distribute, this is like a -1 out here. So all this is going to do is change the sign of all of the interior numbers. Negative times a negative is a +3x. Negative times a negative is a +5. Negative times a positive is a -2y. Now combining. Number 10. Solve each equation. Who's attached to x and how? 32 is attached to x by addition. The opposite of addition, subtraction. So we want to subtract 32 from both sides of the equal sign. This is gone, and you're left with x equals 24. All right, the next one. 4x equals 52. Who's attached to x and how? 4 is attached by multiplication. Opposite of multiplication is division. Divide both sides by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1, so that's gone. 52 divided by 4 is 13. Number 12. 5 times 4a minus 7 plus 4 equals 8a minus 3. First thing we have to do is distribute this 5. So this becomes 5 times 4a plus 5 times -7. I'm just going to bring everything else down. 5 times 4a is 20a. 5 times -7 is -35. All right, combining like terms, we've got 20a Negative 35 plus 4 is negative 31. Now we need to get our numbers with the variables on one side and our constants on the other. So I'm going to move my 8a over here. It's currently positive, so I need to subtract it from both sides. Just doing one step at a time. 20 minus 8 is 12a. Now I need to get my 31 to the other side. So it is currently negative. I need to add 31 to both sides. 12a is equal to negative 3 plus 31 is 28. 12 is attached to a by multiplication. The opposite of multiplication is division. I'm going to divide both sides of the equal sign by 12. Gone. And I've got a is equal to 28 over 12. But I can reduce this. I know that because they're both even. All right. They'll both reduce by 2. But will they reduce by 4? 4 goes in. Yes, they will. I can divide both by 4. So a is equal to 28 divided by 4 is 7. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Go to 13. 6 times x minus 2 equals 60. I have to distribute the 6. So 6 times x plus 6 times negative 2 equals 60. So 6x minus 12. 6 times 2 is 12. Positive times the negative is a negative, equal to 60. I need to get my constants on one side, my x on the other. So I'm going to add 12 to both sides. 6x is equal to 72. 6 is attached to x by multiplication. Opposite of multiplication is division. Divide both sides by 6. And x is equal to 12. All right, 14. We got 0.25x plus 1.86, 0.5, oh, 6x minus 0.93. I need my x's on one side, my constants on the other. So I've got an x here, an x here. I'm going to subtract 0.56x from both sides. Gone. 0.25 minus 0.56 is negative 0.31x. I need to remove the 1.86 to the other side. It's currently positive, so I need to subtract it from both sides. Oh, 17. So when the numbers are the same, you add them and keep the sign. You can put in your calculator too. And then lastly, negative 0.31 is attached to x by multiplication. So we're going to divide both sides by negative 0.31. And I got 9. Oops. 15. X divided by 4 minus 1 divided by 12. X divided by 3 plus 1/6. Okay, common denominator. 4 goes into 12, 12 goes into 12, 3 goes into 12, and 6 goes into 12. That is the lowest common denominator that they all go into. So I'm going to multiply both sides of my equal sign by 12, which is the same thing as multiplying every single term by 12. So 12 times x over 4 plus 12 times negative 1/12 equals 12 times x over 3 plus 12 times 1/6. Now we just divide. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Bring down the x. 4 is gone. This reduced to 3. 12 divided by 12 is 1. So this is just minus 1. Equals 12 divided by 3 is 4 times x plus 12 divided by 6 is 2 times 1. All right, so 3x minus 1 is 4x plus 2. 3 times x is 3x minus 1. 4 times x is 4x. 2 times 1 is 2. Let's get our x's on one side, our constants on the other. I'm going to move my 4x to the left. So I'm going to subtract it because it's currently positive. And then I've got 3 minus 4 is negative 1x on 2. I'm going to move my 1 over. It's currently negative, so I need to add it to both sides. Gone. And then lastly, I've got negative 1 times x. So I need to divide both sides by negative 1. And x is equal to negative 3. All right, go to 16. All right, for this one, I'm going to show it to you. Statins are used to keep cholesterol in check and are a top-selling drug in the U.S. The equation S equals 6.1 times 1.6x estimates the amount of sales, that's what S means, is sales of statin in billions of dollars X years after 1998. What was the sale of statin in the year 2011? And this is billions of dollars. I'm going to write down the equation, which is S equals 6.1 plus 1.6x. And it says that we want to know what the sale of statins are in the year 2011. But this gives us, this is an estimation. So you're going to need this for both 1500 and 1590. This is giving us an estimation. This linear equation is based on the year 1998. So because of that, we need to know how many years it's been from 1998 to 2011. I need to subtract them. And it's 13 years. So 13 is my input for my x. Because S is my sales. That's what I want to know. And they also told us that X is the years after 1998. All right. So now I just need to go 6.1 plus 1.6 times 3. You've got to start off with your 1.6 times 3. I'm sorry, 13, not 3. And that's 20.8. Don't round. You never round until the final number. And that's only if you're being told to. And then 6.1 plus 20.8 is 26.9. Now, this is billions of dollars. So you need to have your dollar sign and write billions. All right. If you were taking, well, for your next two classes, you would have to write this in sentence form. You would have to say this in 2011, the sale of statin would be, and then you would have dollar sign $26.9 billion. All right. Number 17. All right. This one, let's do it this way. So solve the inequality to find the solution set. Well, I've already got it drawn here. Where's my question? There it is. Given negative 6y less than or equal to 42. We're going to complete this. So negative 6 is what I'm having to divide by because it's multiplied to y. Dividing both sides by a negative means my inequality flips. So y is now greater than or equal to positive divided by negative is a negative, and this is a 7. To graph this, 0, negative 7. This has the equal sign with it, so this is a dot, not a circle. And y is greater than, so it's everything to the right. To write this in interval notation, which you will need to be able to do all of this for college algebra, not for problem solving or statistics. College algebra, you will need to be able to do this. And for interval notation, it is bracket, because it's left to right, negative 7, it's included, so it needs a bracket, comma, and it's heading off towards positive infinity, and which always gets a parenthesis. Look at number 18. And it is 8x minus 2 less than 5, x plus 2. All right, I need to distribute 5x plus 5 times 2 is 10. Let's get our x's on one side, our constants on the other. I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides. Add 2 to both sides. And then 3 is attached to x by multiplication, so we have to divide both sides by 3. All right, let's draw my number line. 0, 4. 4 is not included because it doesn't have the equal sign, and x is less than, the arrow is pointing to the left, so it's everything to the left. Now, when you're writing your interval notation, remember it's left to right, and you're coming from negative infinity, which is the last number to the left. So it always gets a parenthesis. Ends up at 4, and 4 is not included. Okay. Give me just a moment, please. Okay, for number 19, it says to solve for the indicated variable, we're going to solve for y. Oh, goodness. It's up here. So we need to solve for y. We've got 2x attached by subtraction and 3 by multiplication. We have to start with the negative 2x. So I'm going to add 2x to both sides of the equal sign. You can't combine these. They're not like terms. So just 2x plus 15 or 15 plus 2x. And then the last step is to divide both sides of the equal sign by 3. Now, I could leave it like this, or I could go 2/3 x plus 15 divided by 3 is 5. All right, go to 20. Again, both 1500 and college algebra statistics all need to know how to do this as well. P is equal to 2L plus 2W. This is the perimeter for a rectangle. Not that you need to know that if you're going to college algebra, but you will need to know how to solve for L. All right, well, here's my L. I need to get rid of my 2W first, so subtract 2W from both sides of the equal sign. P minus 2W is equal to 2 times L. And then the last step is divide both sides by 2. Now, I'm not going to leave it like this. I'm going to do what I did with the last one. I'm going to make this P divided by 2 minus 2 over 2W, because this reduces to just W minus P over 2 minus W is equal to L. 21. Now these, you're going to need to know how to do this for your science classes, the rest of these. And you'll also need to know how to do them if you're going to if not college algebra. Problem solving, you'll definitely need to know how to do this. Not statistics and not college algebra trig, but science classes, yes. We're going to convert 896 fluid ounces to gallons. All right. Get my conversion sheet here. Now this is volume, and it's all American. Here's volume, all American, or imperial. And I'm starting with fluid ounces. Here's fluid ounces. So 8 fluid ounces is a cup, 2 cups is a pint, 2 pints is a quart, and 4 quarts is a gallon. That's how I'm going to get from fluid ounces to gallon. Let's write my conversions over here. 8 fluid ounces is 1 cup, 2 cups is 1 pint, 2 pints is 1 quart, and 4 quarts is 1 gallon. Start with what you're given, 896 fluid ounces. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 conversions. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I've got fluid ounces up top, so I need fluid ounces down low. I'm heading to cups. Don't want cups. Let's get rid of that. Going to pints. Don't want pints. Going to quarts. Don't want quarts. Going to gallons. Gallons should end up in the numerator, in the top part, because that's where fluid ounces is. So that's where your gallons should be as well. Okay. Once you get your conversion set up, fluid ounces, cups, pints, quarts, left with gallons, now is when you put your numbers in. So 8 fluid ounces a cup, 2 cups is a pint, 2 pints is a quart, 4 quarts is a gallon. When you multiply straight across the top, straight across the bottom. Your fluid ounces are going to cancel out, cup top, cup bottom cancel out, pint, pint, top and bottom, quart, quart cancel out. Left with gallons in the numerator where we need it to be. Okay. 896 times 1 is 896. And this is gallons. Over 8 times 2 times 2 times 4 is 128. Once you get to this point, you have to divide. And it's 7 gallons. Number 22. And that one, we're going from 720 square inches to square feet. Now, you could write square inches or you could write inches squared, feet squared. It's totally your call. Now, we only know based on the length. Now, do we have area on here? Right here. It's already given to you. Fantastic. I gave it to you right here. So 1 square foot is 144 square inches. Square foot squared is 144 inches squared. So that's just one conversion. Start with what you're given. One conversion. Inches squares up top in the numerator. So I need inches squared down low in the denominator, so they'll cancel each other out. And we're going to feet squared. Plug in your numbers. 144, multiplying straight across. Inches are gone, left with feet squared. 720 times 1 is 720. 1 times 144 is 144. And now we divide. And that is 5 square feet. Last two. These last two are going to be used if you're going into problem solving, which is Math 1500. Number 23. In the 2000 Summer Olympics in Sydney, Australia, Maurice Green of the United States won the gold medal for the 100-meter sprint. His winning time was 9.87 seconds. What was the speed in kilometers per hour round to the nearest hundredth? In order to find the kilometers per hour, you need to have what he currently has. So this is the hold on, I'll get there. Length divided by the time. Well, he currently ran a 100 meter, that's the length, and the time was 9.87 seconds. But we want to convert that to kilometers per hour. Okay, that's what we're wanting to do. How can we get from meters to kilometers? Well, go to our metric system. That is length up here. 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. And then we need to figure out how to get from seconds to hours, and that is your time. Or is it 60 seconds is a minute, 60 minutes is an hour. That's what will get us there. Please don't use M for minutes. M is only meters. And these are the conversions we're going to use. So we've got 3 conversions. 1, 2, 3. All right. Let's just deal with one of these at a time. We've got meters up top. So we want to get rid of the meters and we're going to kilometers. We've got our numbers in, we've got our units set up. Meters will cancel out. We'll end up with kilometers in the top. So now we just need to plug in our numbers. 1,000 meters for 1 kilometer. Now let's look at our seconds. We don't want seconds, so we've got to put that up top. and we can go from seconds to minutes. We don't want minutes. We want hours. Make sure the hours ends up in the denominator in the bottom, the same place as the seconds for your time. Fill in your numbers, 60 seconds for a minute, 60 minutes for an hour. Now let's multiply straight across. Meters are gone, left with kilometers up top. Seconds are gone, minutes are gone, left with hours in the denominator. Multiplying. 100 times 1 times 60 times 60 is 360,000. And this is kilometers. 9.87 times 1,000 is 9870. And this is hours. And now we just need to divide. What are we rounding to here? Hundredths, so 2 decimal places. 360,000, 9870. So 36.474. And this is my hundredths. That's my rounding digit. That's my test digit. Because my test digit is not 5, I just ignore it and leave it as it is. So 36.47 kilometers per hour. Last one. Reduce to where you can only see the word problem piece. I'm trying here, y'all. All right, there we go. So a baseball gets thrown at a speed of 85 miles per hour. If you wanted to tell your European friend what that speed was in a way that he could understand, how many meters per second is that? Round to the nearest hundred. So we're going from 85 miles per hour, and we're going to meters per second. All right. So starting off with 85 miles for 1 hour. All right, we're going to get from miles to hours. I'm sorry, miles to meters. I'll get there. That's weird. What happened? Hold on, figure out what happened. Okay, miles to meters. That's going to be our US to metric. We got miles to kilometers, feet to meters. Let's do miles to kilometers. There's so many different ways to do this, y'all. Let's go miles to kilometers. And then we'll go, yeah, miles to kilometers, and then we'll go kilometers to meter. So miles to kilometers to meter. All right, miles to kilometer. What did I just see there? There are, for 1 mile is 1.61 kilometers. And then we already know that 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. We used that earlier. So there's that one. And then for hours to seconds, it's just the opposite of what we just did. So 1 hour is 60 minutes. And 1 minute is 60 seconds. So we've got 4 conversions to do. All right, let's start with the top one. Let's get rid of the miles and go to kilometers. Get rid of kilometers, go to meters. All right, let's plug in our numbers. 1.61 to 1 and 1,000 to 1. Now let's get rid of our hours. It's in the bottom, so we need to cancel out using the top. And I can go from hours to minutes, and then minutes to seconds. 1 hour, 60 minutes, 1 minute, 60 seconds. Let's check our multiplications here. Multiplying straight across, miles are gone, kilometers are gone, left with meters in the top. Fantastic. Hours are gone, minutes are gone, left with seconds in the bottom. That's exactly what we want, meters per second. Now let's multiply. 85 times 1.61 times 1,000 is 136,850. over 60 times 60 is 3,600. And this is meters per second. And now we just need to divide. Nope. And that's 38.013 because we're going to the hundredths place. Yep. All right. This is my rounding digit. This is my test digit. My test digit is not 5 or greater, so it's gone. My answer is 38.01 meters per second. That's it. Let me know what questions you have.